The chrome handlebars were hot under Spike's hands as he sat outside the dusty roadside diner, hiding from the world behind his leather cut and the snarling skull patch on his back. People saw a Hell's Angel and looked away. That was fine with him. Fear kept strangers at a distance. Through the greasy diner window, Spike noticed a man in a clean gray suit sitting with a little girl in a pink dress. At first glance, nothing looked unusual, but Spike had spent too many years around dangerous people not to recognize fear when he saw it. The man never looked at the child once. The girl sat stiff and silent, staring at a tiny pile of crumpled bills and loose coins on the table like her entire world depended on it. Spike's instincts started screaming. Inside the diner, he ordered coffee and quietly slid into the booth behind them. The waitress, Flo, poured his usual black coffee while he listened. "Eat your fries, Lily," the man said coldly. "I'm not hungry, Mr. Silas." "Not Dad. Not Uncle. Mr. Silas." The girl squeezed a worn teddy bear against her chest while the man checked his phone. A message flashed across the screen. "Package ready for pickup. Payment on delivery." Spike felt ice crawl through his veins. The child wasn't traveling with him. She was the package. A few minutes later, Silas stood up. "Don't move. Don't talk to anyone." He disappeared toward the restroom. The second he was gone, Lily's mask cracked. She slid out of the booth clutching her little pile of money and walked straight to Spike. Her tiny hand trembled as she held out the cash. "It's $23, she whispered. "I saved it to buy Mommy back." The words hit Spike harder than any punch he'd ever taken. This wasn't some custody fight. This was kidnapping. Maybe worse. Spike looked at the desperate hope in her eyes and felt something inside him shift. All the years of violence, outlaw living, and hard roads suddenly narrowed down to one thing. Protect the child. He leaned closer, his rough voice softer than she expected. "Keep your money, kid," he said. "You'll need it for ice cream later." A tear rolled down Lily's cheek. "Now tell me where he's taking you." Before she could answer, the restroom door opened. Silas stormed toward them, fury twisting his face. He grabbed Lily's arm hard enough to make her flinch. Spike slowly stood up. At 6'4", covered in leather and scars, he towered over the suited man like a storm cloud. "The kid was admiring the bike," Spike said calmly. Silas hesitated. He could sense danger now. Predators recognized stronger predators. He dragged Lily outside and shoved her into a gray sedan before speeding away. Spike waited 30 seconds. Then his Harley roared to life. The motorcycle devoured the highway as Spike followed from a distance. The sedan eventually turned off onto an isolated country road lined with dying barns and abandoned fields. Spike called his club president. "Got a stray pup on a bad leash," he said. The meaning was clear. "Child in danger. Brothers are coming." Press replied. "Don't go in alone." Spike never answered. Ahead, the sedan turned into a long dirt driveway leading to a rotting farmhouse hidden behind trees. Spike parked a quarter-mile away and moved through the woods silently. He found a dirty back window and looked inside. Lily sat huddled in the corner, clutching her teddy bear. Beside her, a terrified woman was tied to a chair with ropes cutting into her wrists. Lily's mother. Two men argued near the table while a handgun rested beside them. One of them raised his hand toward the bound woman. Spike stopped waiting. He slammed into the back door with all his weight. Wood exploded inward. The entire room froze. Then chaos erupted. The bigger man lunged for the handgun, but Spike moved first. He slapped the weapon across the floor and drove an elbow into the man's ribs. The fight lasted seconds, brutal, close, and ugly. The man collapsed, gasping for air. Silas backed away in panic. "You don't understand." Spike didn't care. One devastating punch cracked across Silas's jaw and dropped him cold to the floor. Silence filled the farmhouse. Spike turned to the woman tied to the chair. "It's okay," he said gently. "I'm here to help." Her terrified eyes followed the skull patch on his vest as he untied the ropes and removed the gag. The second she was free, Lily ran into her arms. "Mommy!" The woman sobbed uncontrollably, crushing her daughter against her chest. "I was going to buy you back," Lily cried. "I saved $23. Her mother held her tighter. "You already saved me, baby." Police sirens echoed outside moments later as Spike's club brothers arrived with local deputies. The truth slowly came out. Sarah had escaped a violent criminal ex-husband years earlier. Silas worked for him. They kidnapped her to force her into giving up hidden money and property connected to the criminal organization. Lily had been used as leverage. As officers dragged Silas away in handcuffs, Sarah approached Spike with tears in her eyes. "How do I thank you?" Spike shrugged awkwardly. He was more comfortable with fists than gratitude. Lily peeked out from behind her mother. Spike reached into his pocket and handed her a small wooden bird he had carved during a late-night watch ride. "For being brave," he said. For the first time all day, Lily smiled. Years passed, but Spike never disappeared from their lives. Sarah opened a small bakery in town, and the Hells Angels became regular customers. Nobody dared cause trouble there anymore. Spike showed up to Lily's birthdays, school plays, and piano recitals. He taught her how to ride a bicycle, then later how to drive. Somewhere along the way, the terrifying biker became family. 12 years later, Spike sat in a crowded high school auditorium listening to Lily give her valedictorian speech. "Courage isn't about being fearless," she said from the stage. "It's about seeing something wrong and choosing to help anyway. Sometimes heroes are just strangers who decide to pay attention." Spike lowered his head, emotion tightening his throat. That night, the three of them shared dinner together like they had done countless times before. Sarah raised her glass. "To family." Lily smiled. "To family." Spike lifted his drink quietly. "To family." Back home, tucked safely inside a small wooden box, were 23 crumpled dollars. He never spent them. They reminded him of the best trade he ever made. A little girl offered everything she had to save her mother. And somehow, in saving them both, Spike found a family too.